नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात् दशतारि. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4, Text 11. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Shuta Goswami said, when Shukadeva Goswami was thus requested by the king to describe the creative energy of the personality of Godhead, he then systematically remembered the master of the senses, Sri Krishna, and to reply properly he spoke thus. Hare Krishna. So, in this verse itself, the guideline is given how to deliver a speech. It is written that we have to ask blessings of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the devotees are the agent of Lord, so they can distribute Lord's mercy. So I pray all the devotees, please bless me so that I can speak few words in glorification of the Lord and his devotees. So while speaking, the devotee should, what a devotee should think, that I cannot speak. Whatever the Supreme Personality of Godhead is prompting, just like in a drama, you have experience of drama or drama rehearsal, there is a prompter. The prompter is sitting in some corner and he is reading from the original book, and the dramatist is just listening and speaking. Sometimes he forgets, then prompter prompts again and he can speak. So the Lord is sitting within our heart as prompter. So he is prompting, and whatever he prompts, a devotee speaks. So I pray to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and all the devotees that we can speak something on on the glorification of Lord Krishna and his devotees. So Krishna is called Bancha Kalpa Taru. Bancha Kalpa Taru. He fulfills all our desires. If we have dirty desires, he will fulfill. Generally, exceptional cases are there when devotees are little advanced, then Krishna can also interrupt. He can stop. Ami biggo ei murkhe bishoy keno dibo. I am intelligent. Why should I provide dirty things or mundane things to a devotee who is sometimes asking for mundane things? Krishna sometimes stops, doesn't give. But sometimes, generally, maximum cases, he provides. So, if we desire nice things, Krishna will provide nice things. If we desire, of course, we need to be qualified also. So, if we desire nice things, if we are qualified to achieve that nice things, Krishna will provide nice things. And if we desire dirty things, garbage, Krishna will provide garbage also. We cannot create garbage also, isn't it? Krishna is the creator of nice things and Krishna is the creator of garbage also. So, if you want garbage, Krishna will provide garbage. So, in this way, it is up to us. It is up to us whether we should desire for garbage or we should desire for beautiful things, nice things. It is up to us. Sometimes we become our own judge. That is a great drawback. We want to judge our action. Can a criminal judge his action? No. When I was a young boy, I heard a story that there was a criminal who committed 100 murders in America. At that time I was a student. So a criminal committed 100 murders in America, and I mean, security people could not catch him, could not capture him. They are trying so much to find him out, but they could not capture him. Finally, they could capture him. They could arrest him, and he was brought to the court. So in the court, he was telling, whatever I have done is very good thing, very good thing. It's the best thing I have done. So in this way, can criminal judge his own work? Who has to judge? Who has to judge? The Chief Justice is there, justice can judge. So in our life, who is the Chief Justice? Krishna. But sometimes due to our ego, due to our pride, sometimes we judge our action. Yes, whatever I am doing is okay, it is normal, it is not very offensive, like this. Sometimes we judge our own action. But as long as we will judge our own action, there will be slow progress. I mean, it is difficult to progress if we judge our own action. So we have to accept Krishna's judgment. Either we accept or not, Krishna is the Chief Justice. Even if we don't accept Krishna as our Chief Justice, he is already our Chief Justice. He is not depending on our acceptance or not accepting, but he is already our Chief Justice. So we should understand that Krishna is our Chief Justice, and whatever actions, whatever karma we are doing, Krishna will judge properly. And my justice may not tally with Krishna's justice. I may think, if I do this, Krishna may not give very big punishment. But it is my justice. Krishna's justice may be completely different, completely beyond my imagination. So you have to be careful about Krishna's justice. Rajarj Rajyapat, Jano Natu or not, Dekhite Dekhite Kichu Noy, Hanamaya Kore Jei, Parama Ishara Shei, Taremon Sadakoro Bhai. The king's property, palace, wealth, Rajarj Rajyapat, Jano Natu or not. It is exactly like phantasmagoria, exactly like a dream. Dekhite dekhite kichu noy. Within a fraction of second, everything can be vanished. Hanamaya kore jei parama ishvara shei tare mon sada kara bhai. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he can create such illusion that we should be afraid. We should be afraid of God, God fearing. Of course, loving God is more important than fearing God. But God fearing is also part of our spiritual life. We must be afraid of God. So in this way, if we desire, beautiful things, then Krishna will provide beautiful things. So the most beautiful thing we can desire is to glorify Krishna, is to love Krishna. Every day we can pray to Krishna. My dear Krishna, please help me so that I can glorify you nicely. When Srila Prabhupada went to America on the Jaladuta ship, he wrote one nice poet in Bengali, Markine Bhagavat Dharma. So some verses, one or two verses I'll read. কি করে বুঝাবো কথা বর সেই চাহি ক্ষুদ্র আমি দীনহীন কোনো শক্তি নাহি I don't know how I will explain and how I will make them understand Krishna Katha. I don't know. So I want some benediction. Srila Prabhupada, a pure devotee, is asking a benediction from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is telling, I am very small. Khudrami, I am very small. Dinahina, I am very small, ordinary. And I don't have any power. অথচ এনেছো প্রভু কথা কহিবারে যে তোমার ইচ্ছা প্রভু করো এইবারে but you have brought me here now I am going to America so you have brought me here somehow because you have brought me here, that is also with your, I mean, it is your desire, otherwise how can I come? So as you brought me here, now you please make me speak something so that the audience can understand. So I want that benediction. অখিল জগৎগুরু বচন সে আমার অলঙ্কৃত করিবার ক্ষমতা তোমার. You are the guru of the whole creation, and whatever I speak, my words, only you can make it lucid, you can make it ornamented. So you have the power to make my speech lucid and ornamented. So please give me this benediction so that I can make them understand. And did Krishna listen to Prabhupada's prayers or not? Did Krishna listen? Yes, Prabhupada listened. Krishna listened. Otherwise, how not only America, 150 countries minimum, 150 people from 150 countries are able to understand the most difficult subject. Topic about Lord Krishna is the most difficult subject. Srimad Bhagavatam is called Vidya Bhagavata Abodhi. Knowledge, the last limit of knowledge is Srimad Bhagavatam. Vidya Bhagavat Abodhi. Vidya Bhagavata Abodhi. So the last limit of knowledge is understood by people from 150 countries. How was it possible? It is beyond our imagination. It is possible simply by Krishna's blessing. So in this way, by Krishna's blessings, if we speak few words, by Krishna's blessing, we can try to speak. There was a very good speaker, and he was very proud of his voice. His voice was very grave and beautiful, So he was declaring, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in God. And there is no God. He was very boldly declaring. And because his voice was nice, he was thinking that my voice is final. So after some time, he was affected by some disease and he lost his voice. You understand? So sometimes people would ask him, do you believe in God? So he would reply, bah. Because he lost his voice. Due to some disease, he lost his voice. So, do you believe in God? Bah. So we have to understand that even if I say that there is no God, who gives me power to declare like this? This power also comes from God, is it not? You have heard the story of Keshav Kashmiri. He was a very good scholar. Digvijoy, he conquered all the scholars in India. But somebody told him, until and unless you go to Navadvip and you can defeat Nimai Pandit, then your scholarship is it will not become very popular and it will not be accepted by all. So he came to Navadvip, Keshav Kashmiri. And when other scholars, in Navadvip was actually, it is the headquarter of all scholars, Other scholars, when they heard the name, in those days, the scholars, they would, debate together. Just like nowadays there is cricket game, cricket, football. In those days, people would, the scholars would meet together and debate together. So when all the scholars from Navadvip, they heard that some famous scholar, popular scholar called Keshav Kashmiri has come to visit Navadvip, they all ran away. They are so afraid because he was really famous, So then they are, thinking that if he meets Nimai Pandit, because Nimai Pandit is also there, and Nimai Pandit is small, at that time, very small, maybe 15 or 17 years old. So if he meets Nimai Pandit, we think Nimai Pandit can defeat him. And if Nimai Pandit can defeat him, then we can tell them that what to speak of fighting with us, debating with us. Even you are defeated by a small child. So that's why we did not participate in the debate. And if Nimai Pandit is defeated, then we can tell that because he's a child, he is defeated. Like this, both ways safe. So they left. So then Keshav Kashmiri came to Navadvip. At that time, Navadvip was very, very congested area, and it was in whole India, Navadvip was the best place for education. So the Keshav Kashmiri was searching the Pandits, and he could not find any Pandit. At last, he went near the bank of Ganges, and he found that Nimai Pandit, a small child, is teaching few students. So then he understood, oh, this is Nimai Pandit. Okay, I heard his name also. People say, although he is very small, but he is very great scholar. So let me check him. Let me check his scholarship. So then Keshav Kashmiri went near Nimai Pandit and told him that I heard that you are a great scholar. So are you interested in participating in some debate with me? Because Keshav Kashmiri was very confident, overconfident. So Nimai Pandit, he showed his humility. No, I am not a great scholar. I am not a scholar at all. I study Kolab grammar, which is, in grammar also there are some different kinds of grammar. Kolab grammar is it is very simple grammar. So I study Kolab grammar, and neither I understand nor my students understand, but just I study and try to teach. But I don't know anything. But I heard your name, you are a very great scholar, world famous scholar. So we are very lucky to have your association. Can you kindly make some poetry on Mother Ganges? Mother Ganges is flowing in front of you. Can you make some nice poetry? So then Keshav Kashmiri just looked at Mother Ganges and he started making poetry instantly. And within a few minutes he composed 100 verses glorifying Mother Ganga. So then Nimai Pandit was very much happy, okay, naturally, really a great scholar. So then the Keshav Kashmiri asked Nimai Pandit, so what is your opinion? What do you think about my poetry? So Nimai Pandit said, very nice poetry, very nice poetry. Even poet like Bhavabhuti, Kalidas, they are very famous poet in India. Kalidas is called Shakespeare of India. So their poetry is also, comparable with your poetry. Very nice poetry you have composed. So is there any other comment? One thing is that there are some small mistakes also. Mistakes? Mistakes in my poetry? How dare you say so? Can you mention the mistakes? Yes, there is one verse, I think, verse number 64. Verse number 64? How can you remember the serial number? I think, verse number 64, there are some mistakes. What mistakes? So the Nimai Pandit recited the whole verse. Verse number 64. He recited the whole verse and he found, I think, 10 or, 9 or 10 mistakes. And Keshav Kashmiri was not an ordinary scholar. He was one of the best scholars at that time. He realized, yes, whatever mistakes Nimai Pandit found, they're all correct. His criticism is not wrong, because he could at least understand his own mistakes. You understand? So he understood his own mistake. And he was very surprised. I recited 100 verses like a storm, in the speed of a storm. How this boy, small boy, remembered one of those verses. He selected one of those 100 verses and he exactly, without any mistakes, he just recited the same verse, and he found so many mistakes in one verse. Uh, so like this there are, Nimai Pandit was telling, like this there are many other mistakes, but I just gave some sample, example of one verse. So that Keshav Kashmiri was really, he was completely very much astonished to see the scholarship of Nimai Pandit. He asked Nimai Pandit, how do you remember? I recited 100 verses like storm. How do you remember all these, one of these verses? Then Nimai Pandit replied, as you are Kabibor means the best of poet by the blessings of God. Similarly, by the best blessings of same God, I am also Srutidhar. Srutidhar means just by hearing once, you can keep it in your memory. You can record in your memory. That is called Srutidhar. So by the blessings of God, you are Kabibor, you are the best of the poets, and by the blessings of the same Lord, somebody can prove, he did not say that I am, he said somebody can also become Srutidhar. He can keep it in his memory. Anyway, so then his students, Nimai Pandit's students started laughing, Some of them are covering their face and laughing, So Keshav Kashmiri looked left and right and he understood, here I have become very small. So then Nimai Pandit told all the students, please don't make any fun. Please don't laugh. You understand? So then, you see, Nimai Pandit is trying to, honor that, Pandit, that scholar. So then Nimai Pandit encouraged the scholar again. You don't mind, it happens. Even there are mistakes in the poetry of Bhavabhuti. There are mistakes in the poetry of Kalidas. So don't take it seriously. We don't take it seriously. Please, today you go back home and if you want, you can meet me again. But don't be offended. This type of mistakes happens. In many great poets, they also commit mistakes. So please don't mind and don't take our offenses. So then you see the dealings of God, dealings of the Supreme Personality of God, Godhead. So then Keshav Kashmiri went back and he was thinking, what was wrong with me? What was wrong with me? How can poet like me committed so many mistakes? Then he had a dream at night. Mother Saraswati came in his dream and told him, actually you did a great mistake. Do you know that boy that you thought he is an ordinary boy? He is not ordinary boy. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, my husband. So tomorrow you go and ask forgiveness from him. So then Keshav Kashmiri came and at that time he recognized Nimai Pandit, that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then he offered his obeisances, he asked forgiveness, and he told, now I know who you are. You understand? So from this, pastime, we can understand everything depends on Krishna's mercy. If Krishna, bestows his mercy, we can speak. If Krishna, even a fraction of second, we cannot do anything without Krishna's mercy. So all the time we should be depending on Krishna's mercy, pray for Krishna's mercy, so that we can, serve Krishna. Even for serving, we need his mercy. Without his mercy, we cannot serve him. But when his mercy is there, opposite. When his mercy is there, even small children like Dhruva Maharaj, like Prahlad Maharaj, when Prahlad Maharaj came to offer his obeisances to Nishingadev, Nishingadev asked him to offer, prayers. And Prahlad Maharaj, he started offering. So you have studied. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would study Prahlad's prayer, Dhruva's prayer 100 times, and he will repeat again 100 times, again 100 times. Shatabritti Kori Pore. It is written in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he would meet Gadadhar Pandit, when he would be with Rai Ramananda, Swarup Damodar, he would speak about confidential pastimes of Lord. He would hear confidential pastimes of the Lord. But when he would meet Gadadhar Pandit, he would hear Dhruva Charitra, Prahlad Charitra, pastimes of Dhruva Maharaj, pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj, and they are prayers. Prahlad Maharaj's prayers are so beautiful. If you read Prahlad Maharaj's prayers, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would read them 100 times and again 100 times. Even Dhruva's prayer, he would read them repeatedly 100 times and 100 times and 100 times. So that means it is very, very meaningful and very, very lucid, very, very beautiful. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu set example how to hear. So in this way, Prahlad Maharaj is a small child at that time. Prahlad Maharaj was a small child, but he would, he offered his prayer. So beautiful, so meaningful. If you read, you can personally understand. Prahlad Maharaj's prayers are so beautiful. And Dhruva Maharaj's prayers. Then you have heard the name of Kholabacha Sridhar. Kholabacha Sridhar, he was selling some, bananas and some bottle gold, all these vegetables he was selling. And I mean, academically, I don't think that he was very educated. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called him at the time of showing his universal form in Srivas Thakur's house, so he was brought by the devotees. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Kholabacha Sridhar, can you pray? Can you pray? What is my qualification to pray? At that time he understood this Nimai, with whom I was fighting in the marketplace. Nimai is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he also saw his universal form. He saw Nimai form, Ramchandra form, Krishna form, different forms he saw. Then he started offering prayers. That prayer is there in Chaitanya Bhagavat. You read, please. And you will see so beautiful prayer Kholabacha Sridhar offered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So how was it possible? Children like Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, they were offering so nice, beautiful prayers. Kholabacha Sridhar, he was offering so nice, beautiful prayers. So how was it possible? It was possible by his mercy, by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that mercy we have to recognize. We have to recognize that mercy, that without Krishna's mercy we are zero. We have nothing to speak, nothing to do. If my hand becomes paralyzed, I cannot do anything. If my voice becomes paralyzed, I cannot speak anything. So whatever I speak, whatever I do, whatever I eat, everything is, for everything we are depending on Krishna's mercy. So here Shukadeva Goswami, it is narrated by Shuta Goswami, but he is narrating about Shukadeva Goswami, that before he started speaking, when Parikshit Maharaj asked him few questions on the creative energy of the Lord, then Shukadeva Goswami, before he started speaking, he was praying to the Lord. It is as per this verse. He was praying to the Lord that, my dear Lord, please bless me so that I can speak something meaningful. A person like Shukadeva Goswami, he is also praying for, he is also begging for Krishna's mercy. And if you don't get Krishna's mercy, you may be Brahma, you may be Keshav Kashmiri, you may be the greatest person of the world, but you cannot do anything. So that in devotional line, this example is said by Shukadeva Goswami himself, that we should always pray for Krishna's mercy, and we don't become our own judge. We accept Krishna as real, our judge of our all action. That is the proof of humility. If I become my own judge, that means I am proud. I can judge my work. I can judge my karma. No, let Krishna judge. Krishna is the real, justice. So let him judge. And then whatever Krishna likes, Kita janma ho jatha tua das. If you want to make me insects, okay, I am ready. But we should honestly try to please Krishna. If we are not fake devotee, then ability will come from Krishna so that we can please Krishna. And if you are fake devotee, some devotees may be 10% fake, 90% okay. Somebody is 50% fake, 50% okay. Generally, in many cases, it is like this. So Krishna will judge how much fake you are and how much real devotee you are, and accordingly He will provide. Je jathamang prapaddante tangs tathaiva bhajamaham. So in this way, if you are little alert, it is true. If you are a real devotee, Krishna will give you abilities. Sometimes we say, I am not able, I am not able. But Krishna knows. When I say I am not able, I become my own justice. Isn't it? Krishna knows whether you are able or not able. Krishna knows. There is a story that one man was telling that I want to cross the river. I want to cross the river. So there are three options. Either you can cross by boat. This is one option. Or if you are a good swimmer, you can cross by swimming. Or if the river is little shallow, water is less. Sometimes some rivers are like this. In village I have seen shallow river. You can cross by walking. You understand? So that man said, no, I will neither go by boat, nor by swimming, nor by walking. I want the other bank of the river should walk and come to me. So, is it right or wrong? Wrong, wrong. Other bank of the river will never come to us. I have to either go by walking or by swimming or by boat. So, sometimes, we just like in ISKCON, there are 4 rules. Some rules are easier, especially those who are born and brought up in India. For them, many of them, by birth, just like if you go to South India, by birth, if you go to Gujarat, by birth they are vegetarian. Isn't it? Majority, by birth they are vegetarian. So for them, it is like a shallow river. It can be controlled very easily. Out of these 4 rules, becoming vegetarian, for many people, it is like a shallow river. They can go by walking. You understand? But illicit sex or sex desire is one of the toughest among the 4 rules. This is one of the toughest. Sex desire is one of the toughest. It is like, in a river, sometimes in some river, there is very strong current. So it is like strong current. But for that, we need boat. We cannot go by walking or swimming. We need boat. And that Guru's mercy, Krishna's mercy is that boat. Now if I say, no, let that other bank of Golok Vrindavan should come and meet me. I am sitting here in my house. I will neither walk nor go by boat. I will neither swim. Let Golok Vrindavan come and meet me. So in this way, then Krishna will judge in such a way that he will give me some lesson. So the best thing is that, depending on Krishna's judgment and blessings, we should try honestly. If we remain fake, Krishna will provide fake, punishment. He will provide fake things if you remain fake. If you remain fake 10%, Krishna will provide je jathamang prapaddante tangs tathaiva bhajamaham. So, from this verse, I think we should take this lesson that we should be sincere in asking Krishna's mercy in everything, in all action in our life, in Jat Kurashi Jadasnashi, whatever we think, whatever we speak, whatever we eat, for everything we need Krishna's mercy, and we pray for that mercy, and we try to remain free from fakeness. That's all. Thank you very much. Time is almost, we have 10 minutes more. So if you have any question, comment, correction, chastisement, you are welcome. Hare Krishna.
What was the mistakes made in verse 64 from Keshava Kashmiri?
Oh, that it is very difficult for me. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Shruti Dhar, and I am Bismiti Dhar. You understand? Shruti Dhar and Bismiti means forgetting, you know. So, I remember one mistake that he was telling Bhavani Bhurtu. Bhavani Bhurtu. This is one mistake. There are many other mistakes. Bhavani Bhurtu. Bhavani means wife of Lord Shiva, and Bhurtu means husband. So he was telling Bhavani Bhurtu, wife of Lord Shiva who has a husband. Something like this. You understand? So, do you think this is a proper presentation? Wife of Lord Shiva who has a husband. do you think it is proper presentation? Like this. Like this. And Keshava Kashmiri understood, yes, this is a great mistake. This is a great mistake. Like this, there were Anupras, you know. Anupras means just like Padam Padam Jad Bipadam, you know. This is called Anupras. But Keshava Kashmiri in that verse, in one line Anupras was missing. Like this, you know. So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu found many mistakes in one verse. And there are 100 verses, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also mentioned, if I analyze other verses, many other mistakes will come. Yeah, you understand, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the wonderful class. You said that if Krishna's mercy is there, then everything is possible. And when Krishna's mercy is not there, we are zero. That's a very relevant point I felt in our life, especially staying in Dham. This mercy is available. Like if someone chastises us, someone gives us some service, we don't see it as that mercy of the Lord. Then how do we develop that consciousness that this is the mercy of the Lord? We have to access it. Usually we go with our plan, like somebody is calling for seva. No, I have some other thing to do, and then the mercy is lost. So how do we?
The key is in your own hand. The key of receiving mercy is in your own hand. Key is not in somebody else's hand. It is in your own hand. So if you utilize properly the chances we are receiving, here what we are not receiving, please tell me. What we are not receiving in Mayapur. Can you mention one thing that we are not receiving in Mayapur? It is the best place. Best spiritual leaders are here. Most mercy is called Audarja Dham. Even in Vrindavan there are some considerations of, so many things. But in Mayapur it is called Audarja Dham. It is most magnanimous place. You are getting the best guru, best leader, Srila Prabhupada, his books, everything best here. Isn't it? And if we misuse that chance, Satmaha, he is committing suicide. You understand? So the key is with you. Krishna also generally doesn't interfere with your own desire. If you want to enjoy life, Krishna will provide facilities so that you can enjoy. Next life we can become devotee, but with some material facilities. But if we really want Krishna, then Krishna will judge our desires. So the key is with you. You are responsible. You are responsible. When we become our own judge, I think I am not so much responsible. But when Krishna becomes our judge, he knows you are responsible. If you are neglecting your responsibility, Krishna will je jathamang prapaddante. Krishna will give you either punishment or reward according to your karma, according to desire. Am I clear? Okay. Hare Krishna. Any other comment, question from Mataji's side? Because we have little time, that's why better let us utilize this time. Okay, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I really appreciated this point of the always praying for Krishna's mercy, but also letting Krishna be the judge. there's this tension that devotees experience between surrendering and like not going beyond one's capacity to surrender in the sense of neglecting our responsibility. So how can we determine to what, I mean, it's kind of a tough thing to even, speak, because it's like, I know I should like surrender 100%, but it's like, well, I don't have the adhikar, but then if I say I don't have the adhikar, then it's like, well, you don't have faith. I'm struggling kind of formulating this question, but do you see where I'm getting? Maybe you can speak a little on that, how we can remain sincere and know. I mean, of course, Guru ultimately is telling us, well, no, you have the adhikar to do this. But yeah, maybe how can we really be clear with ourselves?
Actually, we can, if we are sincere, perhaps it may not be clear to us, but it is clear, very clear to the Lord. Lord understands whether you are sincere or not. Here also the same point comes, whether I am judging my sincerity or Krishna is judging my sincerity. If Krishna judges my sincerity, then he will judge properly. In his judgment, there is no possibility of mistake. He will understand whether you are really sincere or your sincerity is little fake. So let us try as far as possible. In Prabhupada's words, as far as possible. And let Krishna judge. But we should try as far as possible. Every person is an individual, and there will be variety of desires, variety of capability. So Krishna will judge whether it is forgivable, whether it can be forgiven, or whether he requires some punishment to rectify his consciousness. Krishna will judge. We should try from our whatever understanding we have got, we should try as far as possible. Whatever ability Krishna has given, we should try to apply as far as possible. And let Krishna judge. Am I clear, Prabhu? Hare Krishna. Other questions? Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Premajan Prabhu. Beautiful class. My question is, we have the tendency to compare. He's doing better than me, or I'm doing better than him. It is part of this material culture. And so, making Krishna the judge, how do we get out of this cycle of thinking I am better than him or he's better than me?
Yeah. Thank you. Sridhar Prabhu. Your name is Sridhar Prabhu?
Srivas, yes.
Oh, Srivash. Okay. So, there is a statement by Srimati Radharani, no premo gandhostyopi darapi me harau. Srimati Radharani says, I don't have even little smell of Krishna's love in my heart. Other devotees are loving better than me. Other devotees love Krishna better than me. But as far as I am concerned, Radharani, as far as I am concerned, my love is zero. For Krishna, I don't have any love, even smell of love. So, who is the speaker? Radharani, the best devotee. So, if we judge like this, who is better than me, or I am better than him, he is better than me, it is always better to think he is better than me. I am nothing, I am useless. So, all the time it is better to, it is the safe side that I should think that I am useless. I am useless. Good for nothing. So in this way, if we think, I think Krishna will be pleased, Guru will be pleased. Am I clear, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna. Any other point? Otherwise, I stop here. Oh, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, very nice lecture, thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
You talked about surrender, ye yatha mam prapadyante. So I am struggling with my attachment to my daughters. They are married now, but I'm still struggling of how to give up the attachment to them. So what can I do?
You can channelize your attachment. You try to make her a nice devotee of Lord Krishna. So in this way, you can channelize your attachment to Krishna's service. You try to make her a nice devotee. So in this way, it is natural to have attachment for your own daughter, own sons. But if you try to make them Krishna's devotee, then your attachment is also channelized to serve Krishna. Is it clear, Mataji? Or you have any other points?
She is doing her own devotional service, so...
You help her in performing devotional service. As a mother, as far as possible, you support her so that she can progress in devotional life.
No, she's independent, so I'm asking about me, what can I do, you know?
No, if she is accepting your service, you help her. If she is not accepting you, if she is neglecting you, you remain callous. Okay, whatever is Krishna arranging, let me accept, that's all.
Okay.
Either be callous, or if there is chance to help your daughter in Krishna consciousness, then help. If no chance, better you remain callous. Am I clear?
Okay, thank
This
you.
is what I understand. If anybody wants to add some points, you are welcome. Okay, so can I stop here? Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Samavita Vaishnava Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol.